The White House has said it has all the legal authority it needs to wage the campaign that it has proposed against ISIS. Yet it has not released its legal analysis. Bob Dietz, does the public deserve to see the legal analysis upon which the president is taking us into a new military campaign?
Yeah, I think as a general principle, yes. But let me start out
by
saying...
So you would quarrel with the White House's refusal to release its legal authority?
Look, as a trained lawyer, I'm used to pushing back on misstatements, mischaracterizations of what I said. I said as a general rule, correct.
But in this case, we don't.
I don't know. I mean, one of the things about Anglo-American legal system is that good legal opinions are interwoven heavily with facts. In other words, if you simply look at the legal opinion, the legal reasoning itself with nothing else, no other context, it's often very hard to determine what's going on. The facts may well be classified. I don't know. I also want to go on and say I'm not here to defend every president who's ever, lived, nor every decision by every president. But so the answer is, could be. I think it's useful. I do take serious issue with the notion that all of this has been done lawlessly. The Congress passed the authorization for the use of military force, the AUMF, following 9/11, and that was the authority of the Bush administration to conduct war. Now, the terminology didn't say war, but the Supreme Court has held repeatedly that there are no magic words that have to be used in order for Congress to say, go ahead.
But the authorization to use military force passed after 9/11 was targeting the people who engaged in 9/11 and associated forces.
Agreed.
ISIS didn't exist at the time. And the administration is saying that same authorization covers what they want to do now. Gabe Schoenfeld, is the legal analysis upon which we are now preparing to go to war a necessary secret?
I think as a general matter as well, that it's bad to have secret law. And the government should, to the maximum extent, declassify legal decisions without disclosing the facts that compromise ongoing operations, military operations, intelligence operations. Maybe there's a tension there in this document. I don't know. I am actually suspicious of the Obama administration. I think they have, in some instances, gone too far in the area of secrecy. And I say that as a defender, generally, of secrecy. I think they may have been overstepped.
In what way?
Well, in some of the things, the other things that we, I think, perhaps talk about today, their very aggressive campaign against leakers has taken some steps that I think, while I think is a good thing overall, it's taken some steps that I think step too far. For example, charging Bradley Manning with a capital offense of aiding the enemy. That in effect makes leaking, of course it was under the Uniform Code of Military Justice, but it makes leaking a capital offense, which is a radical step and unnecessary. He was acquitted on that charge, fortunately.
So you think they're overcharging?
Yeah, so I think they've pushed a bit too hard. The Drake case, a couple of their cases have fallen apart. Thomas Drake was prosecuted for over a period of years for providing secrets to the Baltimore Sun reporter. Bob might know more about this, but the case in the end fell apart, and it seemed they didn't have all that much.
Well, I want to come back to these cases, but just to finish up on the current ISIS point and the legal authority question, Bob, you said that facts matter, and therefore it may be that they shouldn't release the legal analysis because it depends on the facts. But don't the facts also matter for the American public to make a judgment on the wisdom of what the president is proposing? Bart?
I would certainly agree with that. Look, I'm not a lawyer and I don't play one on
television,
live webcast. But as a general observation, it's typical of legal briefs and legal decisions that you have a section on the facts and a section on the law. The legal analysis certainly is entwined with the facts, but if you are concerned about trying to allow yourself to be held accountable, you can easily write a brief or an OLC opinion in such a way that you are referring to a classified appendix It's impossible to believe that the thing has to be classified in its entirety and not redacted if there are important factual things to redact. And so when you have the government saying, we assert a power, which is among the gravest and most consequential powers a president can exercise, and we won't tell you why we think it's legal. That's an extraordinary thing to do in a self-governing state, and it ought to be done only in the most extraordinary circumstances and with the most extraordinary efforts to disclose as much as possible. And that sort of self-evidently has not happened here.